Parents, families, friends, faculty, students, Father Sebastian, Mr. Steers, Mr. Briggs, and the class of 2012, welcome to Canterbury's 95th commencement exercises. Each year, my remarks at the ceremony are based on a theme that I believe reflected or influenced the events of the year. My thoughts this year center on Canterbury's ethos. Ethos is defined in the dictionary as, quote, the distinguishing character, sentiment, moral nature, or guiding beliefs of a person, group, or institution. I began to consider this theme as I sat and listened to our students present in our annual speech contest. Kareen's speech focused on women and how they are stereotyped. Sammy addressed the issue of ethnic and cultural differences. Amy spoke of her experience the previous summer in Appalachia. Charlotte called on us to remember to help those in need in our own backyard. Kushar called for us not to stereotype and judge people because of their heritage. In addition, many of this year's sacristan candidates spoke emotionally about their experiences in Appalachia or Lourdes, or even with their own communities. These topics were chosen by each of these students, and I would wager that some of those students who did not make it to the finals also addressed similar issues. Service, justice, equality, and inclusion are natural offshoots of our mission and 5 values. These ideals brand us and strengthen us. As I look back on the year, it seems to me that 2 events frame the year and reiterate Canterbury's ethos. The first was the October snowstorm, or as I later refer to it as the Halloween storm. It certainly took us by surprise and certainly disrupted the routine and put many of us through a test of endurance. I remember going out in the storm that Saturday evening to watch the arrival of each toaster until it safely dislodged its passengers, having traversed winding back roads in whiteout conditions. I was also relieved when the last bus carrying the football team arrived and white-knuckled players and coaches emerged in one piece. The following days brought no relief for many of us. Little or no electricity, minimal water, and in some cases no water and no heat in the dorms. Thank goodness for Steele Hall and its generator. For 5 days, we continued to wait and monitor the lack of progress of CLNP. During the ordeal, not one student or faculty complained, but rather asked what they could do to help. Several faculty jumped in the toasters and took off with students to New York City for a few days. I hear New York City hasn't been the same since. Others took students north to friends' or families' homes that were unaffected by the storm. Those who remained behind helped clear debris not only on campus, but also in neighboring Marwick Manor. And many of our day families took on some of our boarders. Our kitchen, maintenance, and ground staffs worked around the clock to make the best of a tough situation. I was so impressed with the manner in which parents, faculty, students, and staff worked together with good humor and helping hands through those difficult 6 days. Indeed, we emerged from the storm a stronger and closer community. On May 7th, the Canterbury community was rocked by the tragic passing of faculty member Don Gowen. Not since 9/11 have I witnessed this entire campus in a state of shock, sadness, and disbelief. Standing in front of the entire school that morning to make that announcement was one of the most difficult in my career. The silence amidst the crying and tears as faculty and students exited the auditorium was heartrending. Yet we came together. Wright Dannenbarger met with the basketball team in support and mourning. Father Sebastian offered Mass to standing room only in the chapel. Faculty counselors and advisors were available for all. Faculty and the basketball players met and consoled Don's mother upon her arrival on campus. And that evening, she and dormitory and many others gathered on Sheehan Field for a prayer service, complete with tears and eventually laughter as they mourned but also celebrated Don's life at Canterbury. Memorial masses in Canterbury brought our community together as we continued to mourn but also honored Don and his family. As tough as those 2 weeks were on all of us, we came together in faith. We were there to support those impacted by this tragedy. Counselors, classmates, teammates, faculty, and friends stood by and supported those who needed it. And who will soon forget the ovation Don's mother, Georgianne Gowen, received when she spoke on the occasion of the inaugural Don Gowen Basketball Award. Each of these trials put to Canterbury served to illuminate our ethos and affirm it. As trying as the Halloween storm was, and as sad and tragic as the passing of Don Gowen has been, we have emerged stronger, having reinforced our mission and those intangible values that make Canterbury so unique, a uniqueness we should hold dear and be proud of. Sixth formers, when you leave today, you will take with you many memories. Hold on to them, embrace them, and in time, perhaps reflect on how Canterbury has impacted your life this past year or past years. And through each memory, whether good, bad, or even tragic, realize that you have emerged stronger and with a personal ethos that mirrors Canterbury. It has become a tradition to acknowledge in a special way faculty who have completed 30 years of service to the school with the awarding of a Canterbury diploma, thereby making them honorary members of the graduating class. This year it's my pleasure to recognize one such member of the faculty. Mrs. Sandy Bean arrived on campus for the first time in October of 1982. Apparently, when Sandy first arrived, she lived with her husband Dick in the basement of Carmody and even coached track. Over the years, she has taught biology, AP biology, chemistry, and a series of electives that would take too long to name. She spearheaded the Environmental Club, sponsoring such days as Birds of Prey, a special visit from a condor, and Wild Man, who taught our students how to survive in the wilds of Central Park. Today, she oversees and works tirelessly with the women of Canterbury, peer counseling, and she and Dick have been mainstays on the Montana wilderness trip since it began. Sandy continues as co-chair of the science department and has also been a recipient of the Duffy Faculty Travel Grant. To this day, no one except perhaps her husband knows how she does it all. Congratulations, Sandy. As I do every year, I would like to take this opportunity to thank the faculty for their commitment to Canterbury and its students. Faculty, you have served as role models in the classroom, on the athletic field, in the dormitories, and through your investment every day in each student's growth and progress. And students, especially sixth formers, thank you for making this year so rewarding and for making our commitment to education so worthwhile and fulfilling. Good luck and Godspeed.